Cool. Looks like we are good to start. Welcome to all the regions from the west to east and the GM to all the musketeers and friends from the 10 community. I am Jobin and I'm a developer relations engineer and a contributor to 10. So today we are doing our first community call. I'm pretty sure that you have been waiting to hear the best and the latest updates on 10 from the 10 team and the 10 contributors. And today we're going to answer all those questions. And before I get started, I'm going to just tell you what exactly you can expect in the next couple of minutes. So the agenda for this call is the call is going to last for 30 minutes, and we're going to get started first with my introduction, which is already done. And the next thing we're going to do is Gavin is going to share some spicy hot updates on what's going to happen and when it's going to happen in the next couple of months about 10. And he's going to tease some exciting things. Then after that, we're going to open up the space for just 1 minute to answer some quick questions. So be really quick because we're going to pick those initial set of 4 or 5 questions and we're going to answer that. And then we are going to jump into some developer resources and related updates for all those geeky, nerdy giga brains in our community who want to develop and build some cool dApps. I'm going to share those updates. And then our super cool contributor engineer, Jenny, is going to share some updates on what exactly our engineering team has been grinding to build on 10 in terms of improvement, bug fixes, what all new features are out there. And then post that for all those lovers who want to support us more by running notes for us. Anthony is gonna, this super cool guy who's turned on his video. Yes, the waving guy is gonna do a node ops session for all those node runners who have signed up in the previous CoinList program. So without any further ado, let's get started. Gavin, handing it over to you. Let's hear some updates from your side.
Thanks, Ruben. And thanks everybody for joining the community call. Thanks for taking the time to listen. A super quick intro on me. So I'm Gavin, co-founder and contributor to 10. I've spent about 20 years delivering complex software projects, really with a specific focus on blockchain in the last 8 years. So let's kick us off with a general update. Let's get into the token launch, or TGE. Now, this is something we do think about every single day, and I'm sure you guys do too. And for us, it's creating a vibrant, dynamic community. That's really at the heart of many decisions that we make and what we choose to do at 10. And our vision is to create the right kind of ecosystem and community, and that means a diverse community, a dispersed community, and a high-quality community who can provide high-quality governance and really help make good decisions for the future of 10 using that 10 token, and doing that governance piece free from control by central commercial entities as well. And so really that means we have to find and work closely with the right partners, and achieving that, quite frankly, has taken more time than we originally anticipated. Now, in parallel to that, of course, we're continuing to build 10, and Jenny's going to talk a little bit more about that a bit later in the call. And for us, it's absolutely crucial that we deliver the best version of 10 that we possibly can. And like all software development, there is a balance to strike between the best quality that you can build in the time available. So if we take those things into consideration, if we consider getting the right launch partners on board, if we consider the ongoing efforts to develop the best version of 10 that we can, then we've made the decision to bring the TGE closer to mainnet launch. And right now we're tracking to a mainnet launch in early Q4. We believe it's worth the wait. We don't want to come this far and have things fall flat on its face. So we're looking at early Q4 for mainnet launch with TGE around then as well. So between now and then, what are we going to be doing? Well, we'll be raising a lot of awareness around 10. And many of you have probably seen there's a lot of interest in TEEs right now, the encryption technology that we use with 10. And, we've been invited to speak at a lot of ETH events as a result of our association with TEEs. So Africa, Asia, Europe, we're going to be all over the place. So we'll be at ETH Safari in Kenya. We'll be at ETH Accra in Ghana. We'll be in Bulgaria at ETH Sofia. We'll be in Italy at Napoli and ETH Milan. And we'll be in Kuala Lumpur for ETH KL. We'll be speaking at all those events about TEEs. We're spreading that around the team. So if any of you are in those parts of the world, we would love to see you. Come up and say hi. And we'll also, of course, be at Token 2049 in Singapore. And we'll be at DevCon in Bangkok. And again, if you're there, please do reach out and say hello. It would be awesome to have a chat and hear your thoughts on 10. So how are things looking right now in terms of that awareness? I think it's pretty good. We've had testnet running for 8 months. If you're somebody that likes stats, I can rattle a couple off. So we're at about 8 million daily interactions on testnet, and a whole raft of recent upgrades for performance means that we can now expect 10 to handle something like 40,000 transactions per second, and that's pretty close to what you'd get an Arbitrum, for example. So we're really pleased we've been able to get those in. That was kind of a pleasant result of one of our partners really hammering testnet, which made us accelerate some of the performance changes that we had on the back burner. So really pleased we've been able to deliver those. And particularly exciting, actually, is a novel strategy that we've been working on to grow TVL. It's something that's never been done before. We think it's particularly exciting, particularly attractive. It's going to be a brand new experience in Web3. But I'm not going to say any more about it now. I'm going to leave that for the next call. How about the team? So we're at 19 members in the team contributing to 10 right now. And next month, we're going to be having a new engineer join. And he's going to be absolutely dedicated to creating the best experience that we possibly can for node operators. And Anthony's going to talk a little bit more about node operations in a few minutes. And potentially more importantly, we're going to be expanding the team across the world. And we're going to be doing that through an ambassador program. So we'll be announcing it in full with more details over the coming weeks. But essentially, it's aimed at expanding the 10 community really through local leaders. And we'll be using a structured incentivization approach to do that. So, of course, there's an allocation of the total token supply that's been set aside already for the ambassador program. And that's going to be in addition to the token allocation that we've already set aside for community contributions that you guys are already making to 10. And yeah, you can get involved in the ambassador program. So do expect to hear more about this in the coming weeks. Now, that's the end of my super quick general update. I hope you guys found that useful. I hope I've touched on the most pertinent points. And yeah, I'm now going to hand it back to Jobin.
Thank you, Gavin. I hope Gavin has got you all warm with some super good updates. Now we're going to dive deeper into more updates. But before that, I want to share something with you. We have a link for this community call where you have to submit feedback. So there you go. There's it in the chat section for the attendee stage. It's a Slido page. Just go there and you have 2 questions. You have to rate how this community call was from the scale of 1 to 10. And you have an optional question where you can say what exactly was the reason for that rating. So go there and share it. And for you to give some good ratings and genuine ratings, you have to attentively listen to all the updates. And I'm sure that you heard all the updates from Gavin. So a quick Q&A for just 1 minute. And I already have enough questions for the 60 seconds. I'm not sure how I am going to pack all this in just 60 seconds, but I have got the first question. The question is from Stellar. Hello, is there still an opportunity to gain any roles or do any activity in testnet stage? And the Stellar answer for this is that yes, the previous Galaxy campaign was not the end. There are going to be more campaigns. Like Gavin spilled some beans on the fact that there are going to be more things that will be coming out soon, and those things will be connected with some campaigns where you'll have opportunity to gain more points as well as more roles. in the testnet stage. So stick with us, stay tuned for the updates. You'll find more opportunities to get great roles. And we got one question from Yuri. Yuri has shared two questions, but Yuri, I'll just pick one for now. Since 10 has connection with CoinList, do you plan to launch a pre-sale? I believe Gavin or Case is the right person to answer this. So over to you guys.
Yeah, so good question, Yuri. So yeah, we've got a good relationship with CoinList. We are hoping to extend that relationship further. And we are also planning to have a public offering. Yeah, can't say much more than that, but as soon as things get firmed up, of course, we'll share that.
I hope you're happy with that answer. We'll move to the next question. How will 10 community be able to participate in the governance of the network once the TG and mainnet are live? Gavin, back to you.
How would it mention? Oh, right. Yeah. So, holding a 10 token gives you an opportunity to vote. And it will be a fairly familiar approach with an opportunity to submit proposals through a formal proposal system, and then a kind of a temperature check on those proposals to make sure they're not too crazy, and then that will go to the vote for the community. So it's a fairly standard approach. That's it from a super high level. It's your 10 tokens that give you that opportunity to vote. That probably answers another question a bit further down about the utility. There will be more documentation coming. It's actually all prepared. It's just we just need to hit publish on it. So yeah, that will definitely be available fairly soon, and it will be very detailed for you to understand it.
Cool. So until then, until you press the button for the publish, stick with us, and I'm gonna switch from the Q&A section because we have covered the 60 seconds to some developer updates for all the nerdy people in our 10 community. So as a developer relations engineer, the update that I want to share with you folks is we just baked out a fresh and hot tutorial, our first tutorial video on building guessing game. I'm pretty sure that you all have tried out the guessing game, the one with that cool matrix theme, where we were able to show the private shared states with secure random number generation. All of our musketeers, friends, and community members have smashed and extracted the maximum value out of the guessing game. A lot of them made a lot of prizes from that guessing game in terms of ETH value. So in this tutorial, I'm covering how you can build the guessing game using private share states, how you can use the solidity variable to access secure random number generation. But more than that, it's an example how exactly you can build more fully on-chain games like this, where you can have hidden maps, skins, levels, or you can use secure random number generation to build games which require true randomness and which is truly secure that nobody else can see or predict. So we just dropped that on our Twitter handle. Just go and check that out and let us know your feedback. And if you're building something cool, ping us in our Discord channel for developers or in the general channel. And if you have any queries, share that in the comment section. There are more things to that. If you're not a developer, but you're still a geeky guy who loves to do an autopsy of how a contract would work or how the technical aspect of a dApp works, then we have created a breakdown of guessing game, and the blog is out on the Obscuro Labs publication on Medium. You can check that out. And if you are not even a developer and not a geeky nerdy guy, but you still love to read a lot of technical stuff on a high level, then our contributors have published a lot of technical, non-technical stuff like what exactly is Intel SCX, what are T's, and what is secure random number generation, and all that stuff on Obscuro's Medium publication. Make sure you go and check that out. And if you are super excited and want to get started straight away, then visit docs.ten.xyz. That's the link for documentation so that you can straight away spin up your IDE and get started to build. So that's all the updates from my side. And I'll pass it to Jenny, who's going to share some interesting updates on what the engineering team has been cooking in terms of chain updates, improvements, bug fixes, and all that stuff. So handing it over to Jenny.
Thank you, Jobin. Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining today's community call. We have some exciting updates from the engineering side, and I'm so excited to share with you guys. Um, so the changes are just to make the network faster and smoother and more developer friendly, while still keeping everything secure, as you know. So we've just rolled out a very significant update to the network, and this release is introducing rate limiting on the gateway. This would help the network, prevent overwhelming requests on the network and to also ensure like a smoother and more reliable experience for everyone. There's also been added support for proxy deployments and integrated compatibility with libraries, Web3 libraries. I mean, this is a very big win for developers as this will enhance usability and ensure that we're aligned with the most reliable tools in the ecosystem. There's also been a few technical improvements around increasing timeout limits and enhancing the way that the logs are filtered, the transaction logs, and fixing a few bugs that were causing hiccups in the network. These changes will all work together for us to make the network faster and more secure and more efficient. We've also upgraded to the latest version of GIF to ensure compatibility with Ethereum's POS proof of stake consensus, keeping us in sync with all of the latest blockchain standards. These are all the latest things from our recent deployments. I would hand the mic back to Jobin.
Jenny, thanks for sharing all those updates. I see CryptoFino sharing in the chat. Testnet is still ongoing. Yes, it is. It is going absolutely good with all the updates that Jenny shared. Engineering team has been grinding hard to make sure that encryption is top notch and the experience is smooth, fast, and the best that you can get. So the next thing after this update, what I'm going to do is before I move to NodeOps, I'm just reminding you once again, there is a feedback link on Slido. Make sure you go and rate how the call is, how the community call is. And I see 4 votes already. Like it looks like we have already satisfied and made you happy, and the votes look positive. But please wait until the end because we have more interesting things. We haven't dropped the entire, what do you call, interesting spicy bomb. We have more towards the end. So wait until that, and then you can go and share your feedback by voting on the Slido link. So I'll just pass it to Anthony, our cool guy, who is going to give you a session on NodeOps, and then we can get back to the final bomb that we have to drop.
Thanks, Joe.
Over to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really that cool, but so yeah, I'm Alchemist, aka Anthony, engineer contributing to 10. Worked tokenized stablecoins before, and then R3 on payments and digital asset squads. I'm rolling out and organizing some of the node ops, but we're going to have more engineering on that side to make it even more smooth going into mainnet. But here's the announcements so far about what's going on. So just for anybody who's up to speed or not up to speed on the 10 architecture, I'll just say that there's 3 components, host, enclave, and a persistence layer that make up a node. And the unique thing is that we are TE based. So that means nodes are all SGX compatible. And that's like a really, really big piece of the technology. So we had an open call for ITN node validators to join, and we had over 7,000 apply. We've responded, and we have whitelisted all of the operators that will be joining. Some of you might have gotten a very kind, like, we're sorry, but this is not the time for entry. So I had a question that was, is there going to be a point in time where more validators can come on board? And absolutely, yes. The way that's going to work, I'll kind of get to in just a moment here. So we've already started onboarding some of the very close partners. We're just keeping it like rate limited right now in terms of the number that are on simultaneously. So there's 2 main deployments, Azure and also bare metal deployments, which are SGX. So we had a little bit of a rough start with the bare metal, just getting the proper platform configuration on the different types of hardware, some of them older, some of them newer. But that's kind of coming together, and we are looking forward to kind of getting everybody else who's been whitelisted online. So there's going to be an email that goes out to all of those node operators that are on the whitelist, and that email will give a little bit more instruction about how to reach out and also how to claim your node operator role, which will get you into the node operator channel, where we'll have many different sort of announcements and things going on related to configuration. Just a quick overview of how the ITN for that works is based on the participation of the node operators, you'll have 10% of the participants will actually not have to stake any 10 tokens upon mainnet. They'll be automatically allocated the minimal staking amount. And then the top 20% after that will be given partial staking through their rewards. The rewards are going to be measured through initiatives which we're monitoring through a Prometheus stack, which we'll have configured with your host identity to track and to also help you out with your deployment while you're going in the live. So this is kind of really exciting. And the key thing to note is that obviously the date for liveness for some of the node operators that are whitelisted, it's a little bit later than expected, but there is no penalty. So we're not going to be like reducing your potential reward based on a slightly later start. So it won't count until you get the white and the AOK to be on, and you're not missing out on anything. So that's kind of the updates for the node ops. We can have any questions related to that that anybody has. Is there another question? Since when did we become known as Red Bull? Okay, yeah, that's just my voice. No, I just talk like that. It's kind of just got like this relaxed, chill highness. But don't let it fool you. I'm like really sharp. Yeah, or so people I've worked with have said. It's all good. Okay, so just a quick little like spiel here on what you can do to keep in touch and stay a part of this. I just want to say that there's an encryption university that we just launched. So get everybody you know out to check that. Because what it is that some of the technologies that I've been posting about, like what's going on. Somebody asked a question earlier about security. These kind of things are not as well known for the regular users or those that are new to crypto. So the Encryption University we put together specifically for that, to get everybody up to speed on how this is working technologically. And then drop in on socials, because we're a community. So everybody just stick together, everybody spread the word, spread the message, follow the main account, follow the 10 intern account. And then there's 2 games coming up. One of them is going to be Battleships, which is absolutely crazy. And if everybody's interested, there's also a blog on how to translate that into a little bit of modification. So I can drop that on you. And then there's going to be another game, which is completely novel. You've never seen it before, and it has the potential to earn. So that's the only thing I can say about like earning, I guess, is that there's going to be a game coming soon, which you all want to be playing. So yeah, like Joven, I'll pass it back to you, and I'll monitor any questions here.
Alchemist has served his purpose. As the name says, he has cooked well. He has cooked something really good for all of you. And I'm sure you guys are going to make sure that the 10 network performs 10 out of 10 after all the nodes are up, based on what Anthony or Alchemist has guided you. So, and he has also shared some interesting ways which will make a win-win situation for all of us with the help of the Battleship game that is going to come very soon, and something more, which you'll see later. I'm not going to reveal it. You might find clues for that in chats and general section, but I'm not revealing that. Okay, so let's quickly jump to our final part, that is AMA. I'm just opening up the space. We have got a bunch of questions. I'll pick one by one. At the same time, I'll open up the space also for request for speaker access. So I've turned it on. So if you have any questions that you want to ask, and if you're not shy, you can turn on the mic, request for speaker access, and ask your question. But before that, I'm going to just cover a bunch of questions that we have already got in the chat section. So the first question that I have here is, what is the biggest challenge you face in maintaining privacy? Revelation, please reveal the answer. What exactly is the biggest challenge?
So where'd he go? I sort of
Well,
answered that one up there, but if Revelation hasn't answered, listen to him because he's smarter than me.
oh,
Okay,
looks
well,
like
wait till he comes back. Joven, can I answer the question? Somebody asked about the requirements. So that's kind of like one thing I was going to say is that the roadmap has like different ways to earn for validators. So it's not necessarily going to be like super heavy compute. The reason being is that at the base level, you have your staking lotteries where you're going to get your traditional rewards, but we also have plans to phase in metering for RPC requests. So that could allow you to have lighter hardware. And just to demonstrate, like, where did I put it? So this bad boy is like an SGX compatible server off eBay. It was like probably 400 or something USD. And you can go lower. You can probably get something a little bit cheaper too. But that's to get like a full validator, you'd be good. And then at least for getting started, and then you could maybe even go lighter when it's talking about just doing RPC requests. Okay, back to you, Joven.
cool. So the next question that we have is what's the biggest difference between 10 and other L2s, and why rely on 10 in the first place? Gavin, you're the best person to answer this question.
Yeah, super good question. Arbitrum Optimism, amazing L2s. We took a lot of inspiration from those guys, but crucially, they don't have encryption. So everything that is happening on those two layer 2s is fully out in the open, fully public, and that locks up a lot of opportunities that really you need a degree of encryption or a degree of privacy. So, if you're sharing service agreements, if you're an institution doing some bond trading, if you're running a blind auction, if you're running an on-chain game, you need to have encryption in there. So that's what makes 10 unique. Our encryption, 10, the encrypted network. Jogan, back to you.
Cool. Before I take up any questions, we have two people who want to ask a question. Zahid, you have the access to your mic. Unmute and ask your question. Or we have Big Green 0x. You also have the access. You also can ask the question. Okay. There we have Big Ray. If you're speaking something we can't hear you, please unmute and ask the question. Maybe Big Ray is facing some trouble. Until Big Ray asks the question, I'm going to go to the next question. Do you have a pre-sale? Do we have a pre-sale, Gavin?
The plan is to have a public offering. Yes.
Cool. And what will be the primary utility of the token?
Yeah, touched on it earlier. So the governance of 10 network. There's other utilities coming post mainnet. I'm a little bit limited on what I can describe now, but governance absolutely from the start. And then there's some super interesting stuff coming down the road. I can probably talk about staking. So staking the nodes to run a validator to make sure you're not going to break the network. But also some awesome stuff coming once mainnet's out there.
Wonderful. And any guessing game or new competition to earn the points? Yes, more guessing game, more competitions with new sample dApps or dApps games are coming out very soon, like Alchemy, Battleships. It's going to be more fun and interesting. You'll be competing with a lot of people on chain, trying to steal points by sinking and hitting ships. So yes, this is not just one game. There are going to be more games where you can compete and earn points. Then the next question that we have is, why 10 has no Blockchain Explorer? 10 has Blockchain Explorer. Timo, please head over to 10scan.io. That is where you can find a beautiful Blockchain Explorer that we have built. And it's one of its kind Blockchain Explorer, which doesn't allow you to peek into somebody else's transaction. Okay, so please go and check that out and let us know how it looks like, and if you can peek into somebody else's transaction. If you can peek, then do let us know. It's something we have to fix. So the next one is, are you planning to use AI in the project? I can give a bit of answer. I can cover a bit on this. Yes, you I mean, like as 10, we allow the possibility for you to build something on 10 using AI. There are a bunch of projects that are working in ecosystem to build private AI agents. If you haven't seen, we pushed a blog on private AI agents because only encryption would make it possible to have AI agents on chain where your chats, your activity with your AI agent or bot would stay completely confidential or private. And you don't want somebody else to go into Blockchain Explorer and see what personal chat I had with my romantic private AI agent. So you can build all that cool stuff on 10. And is this session recorded? Yes, this session is recorded. You can go and see that later. Is there going to be a new opportunity for new node runners to apply? Alchemists.
Oh yes, I think I might have addressed that one. I meant to. So not for the ITN, but as I mentioned, there's going to be the support and instructions for everybody out there. And come mainnet, there's going to be different tiers of participation. So it doesn't even mean that you're going to totally miss out, because if there's when mainnet comes, if you're ready to go, you'll have many different flexible options to come in, like whether that's putting in stake or getting like a community or a delegated stake to put that pool in. And if you aren't ready to take that step yet, you can start with something like the RPC metering rewards, which will be in ETH, and then until you accumulate. And then once you accumulate enough, then you can stake that. So there's going to be lots of opportunities. Just keep checking in and get the word out and be ready.
And we have one question from Tony. I believe it's not the Tony Stark. The question is, when TG?
I think we covered that, Jobin. So it's going to be around mainnet time. We're tracking to early Q4 for mainnet. We're hoping to do the TG just a little bit ahead of that. But yeah, that's the right kind of time frame.
Thanks, Kevin. I hope Tony Stark comes back before our TG happens to the Marvel Universe. So the next question is, what interesting collaborations do you already have, and what are you planning in the future? So you can keep a tab on our socials. We have been pushing out some interesting partnerships and collaborations that our team is working with some other projects and dApps and some great builders. That's the best place for you to keep a tab on our Twitter feed or X feed. And then we have got one question. What are the selection criteria for projects wishing to be listed on 10? What is currently the most advanced project on 10?
Hello, can you
might
hear
have.
me?
Yes, Big Ray. Finally, we have got Big Ray. Yes, please share your question.
Hold on. I had some issues before my microphone.
No worries, you
So,
can ask your question now.
Okay, I've been wondering because I've explored the tech like 2 or 3 months back. I went through the blogs, I explored the test nets. So the whole tech is really fascinating. So what I do generally is I compare blockchain technologies against each other, see what's unique. So I've actually seen same kind of tech before. So my main question here is, over the years, there's going to be more private layers coming up with encryption. What's going to make them stand out for like a long time computing technology?
I'll take that one. It's good. It's a good question. And you're right. There's a lot of projects coming up in the privacy space and the encryption space. Obviously, ZKP really kicked off a lot last year. FHE coming down the pipe. But I think really for us, it's the technology choice. So you have to remember. And sorry, I didn't make this clear when I introduced myself, but we've been working with TEEs for 6-7 years. So we really know that encryption technology inside out. But more crucially, TEEs have been around for, I would hazard a guess, like 10 years. And so you've had institutions, you've had banks, you've had corporations already comfortable with TEEs, particularly Intel SGX. And ZKP and FHE, they got quite a long way to go. And when the technology gets there, which it will inevitably, there's still a whole load of kind of paddle testing, and there's a lot of time that that serious customers need to get comfortable with that technology anyway. So we're kind of ahead of the curve. So yeah, we're super confident that going all in on TEEs for encryption has been the right choice, and that's what's going to put us in good stead for the next few years. We would like to be able to marry up TEEs and FHE in the future, and that's on our longer term roadmap that we can start bringing those two together. But for now, we think we're probably ahead of the game in terms of having such a broad and capable encryption technology.
Thanks, Gavin. We have G Husky. You have the speaker access. You can ask the question.
Oh, thank you. So I don't know if I missed this earlier because I had to join a little bit late, but when it comes to dework points and being a contributor, what notifications will come out for the allocation for your dework points? And then also, does that enable you to, I guess, be enrolled on the whitelist portion as a contributor? So just curious to see, when that notification rollout will come out for the allocation for being a contributor and how those dework points will work. And then also, will that lead into whitelisting? So thank you.
Gavin, can we get...
I was actually going to put you on the spot, Jobin, for that one because this is your wheelhouse. But to answer briefly, and I will let Jobin add more colour. Yeah, the dework points are crucial to be able to provide you the opportunity to get involved with the 10 token. Obviously, the more points you have, the more exposure to 10 token you're going to have. But Jobin, there's probably more detail than that.
So as of now, the details that I can cover is there are more activities that are coming. There are more campaigns that are coming. There are more points for you to collect. So make sure you bank up on all those points, collect those points, and in the next couple of months, we'll release more information. You can keep a tab on like somewhere around Q3, Q4. That's when you should expect some notification around what exactly we can expect more from our side on that. So that's all I can reveal for now.
And the key channel is Discord, isn't it, Jobin, to find out what new activities are coming up?
Yes. The Discord general channel is the place where you can find all the discussions happening, and for all the big announcements regarding allocations, campaigns, quests, dework, and all that stuff, you can keep a tab on announcements. We'll find all those things there, all the good things, sweet things. Good. So the next thing is, will 10 implement account abstraction? Could you use several assets to pay fees, for example? Yes. Account abstraction is a beautiful thing that improves the user experience in a lot of ways. You could have cashless transactions. You could pay your fees using something else, a different asset. Social out, a lot of stuff. Yes, and that is a good thing, and it will come to 10 very soon. So I hope I have answered that. If you have any more questions on that, please feel free to share that in the general channel. We have crossed the 30 minutes time for our community call, but I'll just cover a few more questions. What are the selection criteria for projects wishing to be listed on 10? What is currently the most advanced project on 10? You already got a taste of a bunch of good projects on 10, like docs.ten.xyz. If you have tried DeFi projects, then you know most of the DeFi projects don't have an encrypted swap or an encrypted experience, and Chimp gave you that experience. So you'll get to see more such encrypted dApps very soon. The best is yet to come. That is what I'll say. But we already have some really good projects. More and best is yet to come. So that's my answer. And I'll take two more questions before we wind up this call. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to us anytime on general channel or any channel. Do we have a project in 10 that will create a real bridge between 10 and other chains, respecting the privacy? Yes, there are a lot of multi-chain dApps that are working right now on 10. They're deploying right now, and they'll be doing exactly the same. And there's one more question, that is when we can expect some bridge. We are working with some of your favorite bridges, multiple of them, and they are working to deploy these bridges live on 10, and it should be available very soon. And one last question, and that is, what are the rewards per node per month approximately? How much does a node cost? Anthony, pull your calculators
Yeah.
and let them know.
Okay, so the rewards, it's kind of hard to gauge like for any chain until they actually hit the running traffic on mainnet. I'd say that it's looking quite good though. Calculations have made it viable. We do have like some infrastructure partners that we have talked to about their benchmarking and stuff, and we've never had a problem. So you can definitely expect to earn. I'd say like how much does a node cost? Again, going back to like it depends what type of hardware you're going to use. In terms of staking amount, if you wanted to do validator lotteries or the staking lotteries to get those emissions, then it's going to be a minimum of 50K at mainnet. But that actually is not going to be that bad, especially if you're an ITN or whatnot. But like I said, there's other ways to earn. So don't worry if you feel like that's going to limit you. There'll be opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities for you to win a lot of things. So that's, I believe that's it for all the questions for this community call. We'll cover other questions in the general section. We'll respond to each one of them. And I've shared the Slido link once again. And I see when we started the call, we had 65 people. And once we crossed the 30 minutes mark, it hasn't dropped, but we came to 81 folks on this community call. So it looks like it is interesting, and you love to hear updates from our side. We'll try to keep it more interesting, short, sweet, and we'll try to drop some interesting updates, some big bombs, and more opportunities for you to win great things with 10. Keep supporting, keep joining such sessions, and share your experience, feedback, so that we can make sure that 10 is 10 out of 10 in terms of experience, in terms of chain, community, and decentralization, and all the aspects of a Web3 project. So make sure you go and give some rating feedback on the Slido. And thanks, Gavin, Revelation, Jenny, Alchemist, and the 10 team, and all the contributors, and all the folks that we have today on this call. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking with us. I hope it was an interesting call. We'll do this call on a monthly basis. So keep a tab on the socials to see when exactly the next call is going to come. And if you have any ideas, suggestions for how the next community call should be, we're open to hear and implement that. So please share that. And that's it for this call. Thank you. Have a very wonderful, a very sweet day ahead. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.